Smackdown March 18th, 2022, as it stands just 14 nights away from WrestleMania. So you say, BC, did last night's show hit it square out of the park? Was it a home run, BC? BC's gonna give you a big emphatic, oh hell no! It's still a WWE show. And if you've seen a WWE show the last 5 years especially, you know they ain't hitting home runs, bro. Not even during WrestleMania season. So then you say, well, BC, did they at least crack a triple last night? Did they hit a triple, BC? And BC's gonna have to give you another big, bolsterous, fat, overweight, hell no! Of course they didn't hit a triple, man! It's a WWE show we're talking about, so now we're narrowing it down, right? Now you ask, well, BC, did they at least hit a double last night? A double, BC! And again, if BC was going to reach into his bag of fucks, he would see that there's no fucks in the bag! Because last night's show did not even score a double! No, nobody hit a double. The show as a whole didn't hit a double, so now we're left with a base hit. BC, did last night's show at least hit a single? Did they get on base last night, BC? And this is where you might be sent for a swerve. Not swerve, Scott. BC's gonna send you for a little bit of a loop. This may hit you by surprise, but I think they just got on base last night, right? Just a bunt. Maybe it was a cheap base hit. The cheap-ass base hit bunt, right? You all know what BC's talking about. You know the pitcher that always has to bat, but he can't hit worth a shit. He may go up there once in a while trying to crack a home run, but he knows he's worthless when he steps up to the plate. So he's gonna try to bunt every single time. And every once in a while, it may be a blue moon where a pig will fly and he'll actually lay down a bunt. Lo and behold, that pitcher gets on base. Well, last night, as always, WWE was that pitcher trying to hit. WWE was that pitcher trying to get on base, and maybe, just a little bit, maybe WWE got on base. If so, you can thank Brock Lesnar, because parking lot Brock was the best part of the night, right? We can all agree on that, man. Brock Lesnar, this fucking beast, unleashed in a parking lot? Well, that's entertaining television! Oh yeah, wait. BC's been telling you for months that is how you book Brock Lesnar. For months. Date it back to the Royal Rumble, when Brock Lesnar was done filthy by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman gives the championship to Roman Reigns, in fact, turning on Brock Lesnar. And BC said, well, this is simplistic, man. What happens next is sitting in their lap. The next time you see Brock Lesnar after being done so filthy by his one confidant in this world, Paul Heyman, the next time you see Brock should be on that following SmackDown. He should be waiting in the parking lot for the arrival of Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. That's how pissed off Brock Lesnar is. But of course, WWE screwed that up, and an hour later, they got Brock Lesnar coming down as an entrant in the Rumble somehow, with no explanation. And then 4 minutes later, this dude's actually winning the Rumble, tossing people out, and when the night ends, this is an hour after the dude was done filthy by his biggest and only confidant in this world, Paul Heyman. He was done filthy. He was turned on by Paul Heyman. And an hour later, Brock Lesnar is pointing at a WrestleMania sign and smiling. And then we find out he's going for the WWE title too. I mean, he's living his best life. He's putting on a cowboy hat. He's dancing around in an ugly Christmas sweater. Brock Lesnar's having the time of his life, but Paul Heyman just turned on him. Roman took his championship. But they didn't want to choose what was behind door number 1, which was actually some beautiful storytelling for a damn change in that company. No, they chose to go with what was behind door number 2. And behind door number 2 was a chaotic clusterfuck of what the fuck are you doing? Brock Lesnar's winning the fucking... Brock Lesnar's in the Rumble, then he's winning the Rumble, then he's taking the damn title from Big E. Then you have fucking smiling Brock showing up to SmackDown. Why is he smiling? He just got turned on by Paul Heyman. Roman took his title. Then we come up with this weird title versus title because McMahon knows that we've already seen Brock and Roman 75 times. In fact, we've even seen it at WrestleMania a couple of times. Or kept his title, I should say. Whatever the fuck. Roman walked out with gold. And Brock got screwed. But by Friday night, just days later, Brock Lesnar's smiling. He's having the time of his life. He's having a gay old time. No, BC has not let this go, man. For months I have been saying, you book this Brock Lesnar needs to be in the parking lot beating the fuck out of security, chasing motherfuckers away, or not letting motherfuckers get into the arena. And finally, BC, I'm not saying I'm going to give myself a pat on the back and that WWE is listening to BC, but fuck it! I'm giving myself a pat on the back and WWE's listening to BC. That's right, I'll fucking say it. I know for a fact a lot of those wrestlers listen to BC. I know for a fact even more AEW wrestlers listen to BC, and I'm honored. I'm grateful for that they choose BC, because they know every other schmuck in the community is just that, a schmuck. They know they ain't gonna get honesty from anybody else, bro. They're waving a flag for one of the companies. And while said company, AEW or a WWE, they can be flattered that a fan is talking so highly of them, but deep down, they know that BC's the one giving them the damn truth. BC said from day one, man, you book Brock in the parking lot. First and foremost, we should be going back to the parking lot more than we do and have for the last 5 years. Last 2 weeks, you've seen something with the WWE Smackdown, right? They've been going to the parking lot a lot more. Brock Lesnar beating the shit out of security in the parking lot last week. Chasing Paul Heyman straight out of the arena last week. Ronda Rousey and Charlie Flair beating the shit out of each other in the parking lot, on top of cars, through cars, submission holds on top of cars. This week, you got fucking Forklift Brock trying to take out the entire Bloodline, ripping off truck doors, chasing the Bloodline out of the arena, straight out of the parking lot. Brock Lesnar, this beast, terrorizing human beings and vehicles in the parking lot. This is everything that BC said needed to happen for the last couple of months. And it's coming to fruition. And that is the only reason that they got on base last night. And it was a cheap bunt hit. No question. If it wasn't for that Brock Lesnar segment, you probably would have nothing to talk about from SmackDown last night. But we're going to attempt to, because that's what we do here. That's why the wrestlers themselves. BC is so thankful for every single one of you, my amplified unit, for choosing BC to be your number one top dog for this wrestling thing that we do. These reviews, these live streams, these audio format only podcast style videos, all of them that you consume. BC is thankful for every amplified unit member, but I'm also so damn fortunate and thankful for every pro wrestler. And I said a lot of WWE personnel and wrestlers watch BC. I know this for a fact from a lot of them themselves. And I also said that there's more AEW wrestlers and personnel that watch BC. And again, I know that firsthand. But there's a lot of independent wrestlers around this world that listen and watch BC. And again, I know this firsthand from those wrestlers themselves. And there is no more honor doing what I do than when you have a professional wrestler telling you they love your shit and keep preaching the gospel amplified truth, BC. There's no bigger and better honor. So I always thank my amplified unit, and I'll do that again right now. Thank you, amp unit. But to every wrestler, from the big stages of WWE and even AEW all the way to any local bingo hall that you're competing in tonight, to the indies around the world if you're listening and watching BC, to those wrestlers, thank you! And I will never, ever give you anything less than the amplified truth. I will never do an injustice or disservice in preaching this pro wrestling thing. I assure you of that, so I thank you. Just wanted to get that out there before I kick off this fucking review, because it is very early in the morning. I'm talking 5 a.m. This is pre-coffee, by the way. 5 a.m. We got a lot of traveling to do. Thus, we are in audio format only today. But this is how I am at 5 a.m. The same BC at 5 p.m. Amplified to the core. Woo! We on a roll, baby. Let's kick this motherfucker off. Again, as it stands this morning, March 19th, 2022, we are now 14 nights away from WrestleMania. But as of last night, 15 nights. It was the 18th edition of SmackDown, and we opened with the Bloodline. Middle of the ring, Roman Reigns stares out and says to the crowd, North Carolina, acknowledge me. Roman Reigns is that fucking guy. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Roman Reigns is one of the best things to happen to pro wrestling in the past 2 years. Easily, he is the top dog. Easily, Roman Reigns is one of, if not the dude carrying WWE these last 2 years. I believe his title reign is nearing 600 days, correct? Well over 500, I believe. And you don't realize how important and needed that is in pro wrestling. In a day and age where the title gets passed around like my third fucking girlfriend, like a merry-go-round. No, man, this dude has held that title for what will hopefully be 2 years and beyond. And I know you got the fucking fucknuts out there, the fuckwads that honestly believe Roman Reigns sucks. Roman's stale. Roman's boring me. Roman's holding everyone down. And PC's like, I don't even argue with them. And it's not even a debate. I would laugh if I didn't get nauseous by those fucking statements. If you just don't like the dude, that's one thing. If you truly feel he's stale and he just doesn't do it for you and he's hurting the business, bro, then that's something that you're gonna have to look in the mirror and try to fucking help yourself with. Cause you ain't gonna fool or lie BC and his amplified unit. There's still a group of people out there, Roman Reigns is the biggest fucking disease to the WWE and to pro wrestling. Bro, you can't blame him for holding anybody down. I can't stand what happened to Cesaro and Finn Balor and Big E. They got fed to Roman Reigns. That's not Roman's fault. Roman didn't go to Vince and say, after I beat them, make sure that you absolutely decimate them. No, Vince McMahon did that book any of those men properly after Roman Reigns. Because that Cesaro feud with Roman was actually fucking beautiful. The match was fucking awesome. Finn Balor, the storyline, the match, loved it. Big E, that could have been a little better because it was Survivor Series. They just pitted champion versus champion. But when it was all said and done, Vince had nothing for any of them after. So, yes, they basically got fed to Roman. That's not Roman's fault. That's Vince McMahon's fault. And on top of that, Vince should be creating a lot of new stars for Roman to face. The problems that people have, you have to start with Vince McMahon. Because Roman is hitting home runs every time he's out there. His mic work has improved 1,000,000%. The bloodline is beautiful. It's missing one or two more pieces. I would like to see a female in there. Naomi would fit perfectly, I feel. His matches have been fucking gold. And he's been carrying the gold, making the titles prestigious. That title is prestigious, finally. This is what used to happen back in the day before fans' attention span was that of a squirrel jumping from one nut to another nut to another nut to another nut. He could have a bag of nuts and it ain't gonna fucking matter because he's gonna be on to the next nut. Bryan Danielson said it best. Fans are fickle, now more than ever. Back in the day, you could watch Pedro Morales, Bob Backlund, Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino hold titles for years. Years! And you go and you give one excuse after another. Basically, it worked back in the day because of X, Y, and Z. It works beautifully today. Vince just has to care and put in the actual effort needed. Cause what's the alternative? The WWE title jumped from Big E to Brock Lesnar to Bobby Lashley back to Brock Lesnar 4 fucking times in 2 months. Everything I just gave you was just the last 2 months. It was the beginning of the fucking year. It was just starting in January. 4 different champions. 4 different champions! Is that more fun for you? Yeah, you like the title changing hands every 2 weeks? Does that get your fucking nut off? That's the alternative. Let's have the fucking title change hands all the fucking time. If Roman wasn't the champion, what are you gonna get, buddy? You're gonna get Kofi Kingston with the title again? Like that's gonna be worth a damn? They'll find a way, just like they did with Shinsuke and Asuka and so many others. They'll put the title on Kofi, and somehow Kofi will be booked even worse with the title! What are you gonna do? You gonna put it on Humberto? Huh? He's gonna get a shining star? But you see, they could be creating champions and new stars with the title. Roman's hogging the title, basically. You gonna have a Humberto title reign, buddy? You gonna bring back Bob Backlund? Fuck it, let's put it on John Knoxville. Better yet, let's bring back David Arquette. You see the way Bobby Lashley was booked as champion, Big E, Kofi Kingston, so many others. Go to the mid-card, go to the Asukas, go to the fucking Shinsuke's, go to Finn Balor. The fuck makes you think that title going on somebody else is gonna be worth a damn? I am done with the Roman hate. If you don't like the dude, fine. Stop trying to convince people that Roman Reigns is not one of the best damn pieces in this puzzle known as WWE. A puzzle that just can't seem to be completed. Oh, these fucking people. I don't like Roman Reigns. And they give you fucking paragraphs. Basically, Roman's not good for these reasons. And they list fucking paragraphs. A, like somebody's gonna fucking read the bullshit. And B, even if they did, like they'd believe it. I know what I'm fucking viewing every week, every show. Roman Reigns, and carrying that title for as long as he has, that's called prestige. This isn't about likes and dislikes, this is about rights and wrongs. Roman with that title is what has been needed in this company, in this industry, for years now. Champions being champions. Get that out, man. And it doesn't matter. You'll still get the fucking geeks. Basically, I hear what you're saying, but Roman sucks for the following reasons. Basically, I hear you, man, but I don't like it because of these reasons. Cut the shit. You're fucking wrong for these reasons. So Roman's out there telling North Carolina to acknowledge him. That one sentence alone gets a pop from the crowd. That one fucking phrase alone, that one thing he says, it's one of the best things you're gonna hear in the whole fucking night, especially the line delivery. But oh yeah, Roman's not doing it for me, basically. Whew! Roman then talks a lot of trash about Brock because Heyman informed him that there was weather issues and Brock's not going to be able to land. So Brock's not going to be there tonight. So Roman feels fucking all the freedom in the world to talk that shit to Big Brock. But then moments later, Paul Heyman is telling Roman that Brock's plane not only landed, but he's on his way, like now, to the arena. What the hell, Paul? That's very contradicting, my friend. Which is it? His plane didn't land and all of a sudden he's there at the arena? That all happened pretty quick. Who the fuck is Paul Heyman's sources? Who the fuck is texting Paul, man? They botched that big time. I love this. Roman and company literally abandoned the ring, bro, and they run away. Roman looked at Paul. He's like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You're going to finish this and I'm out of here. And Paul Heyman, dude, he just flops out of the ring like a fucking, like a wounded seal. Paul Heyman just flops out there and they all start running to the parking lot to try to get the fuck out, man. They have a getaway SUV fucking all set up. They just run away, man. They enter the parking lot. We got a camera that picks them up, and which I love. VC's been saying this for months, bro. Let's do this. Let's do this, bro. Let's have some parking lot shit go down. And that's what we got last week. Roman and fucking Ronda and Charlie. And Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Insecurity. And this week we got more of the same shit, man. We pick up Roman and the Bloodline, the Usos, Paul Heyman, they jump into this SUV. And all of a sudden, off camera, we hear beep, 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 beep. We hear this beeping off camera, man. And we see, that it's Brock Lesnar in a fucking forklift, bro. Brock Lesnar in a forklift. Now, if BC, if I remember this correctly, and I'm gonna fucking refer this over to my assistant Sasha. Sasha, wake up! Pull the earbuds out of your fucking ear. That's my assistant Sasha. If I'm correct, the last time we saw Brock Lesnar in a forklift, wasn't he picking up Big Show's big candy ass? That fucking 800-pound fucking wounded seal in himself. And I say this big ol' ass because I remember Big Show high up on this forklift. And the Big Show looked like he was fucking dead, bro. Big Show looked like he was being sent out to the pastures. Big Show and his 900-pound floppy self. Wasn't that Brock Lesnar who was driving that forklift? Sasha, if I am correct, put that image up in post. You got me? Put that image up. And if it wasn't Brock Lesnar in the forklift carrying Big Show's big ass, then don't put that image up because it doesn't exist. In that case, just edit this out, Sasha. But I think that was Brock. Last time we saw him in a forklift, he was fucking up Big Show. Now you got Brock Lesnar catapulting toward the SUV in a forklift, and he literally shish kebabs it through all the windows. You know, a shish kebab. You put the meat at the end of a stick. He put these big fucking metal parts straight through the windows, and basically the SUV at that point is a shish kebab. Oh, bro, I fucking loved it. We go straight to commercial break once the shish kebab occurs. So you know you gotta stick around to see what the fuck happened afterwards, and that's what we got. When we come back, we see footage of the Bloodline being able to exit that SUV and then go over to another getaway vehicle, which was a pickup truck, and Lesnar's chasing after the pickup truck on foot, bro! And he catches up, and he rips the door off of the hinges. He rips the door off as the vehicle is in motion, bro. That's badass. That's Brock Lesnar fucking shit up in the parking lot. The pickup truck drives off with one less door, 3 doors, and a scared shitless Bloodline. And I gotta go back and catch that too. I never saw Paul Heyman actually enter the pickup truck. Maybe he did. I gotta go back and check that out, man. But I was wondering all night, is Paul Heyman still in the arena? Fucking hiding in a mop closet somewhere? Oh, fuck, bro. I loved it, man. Brock is literally standing there in the parking lot to end the segment with a fucking door in his hand. A pickup truck door in his hand. Oh, bro, this is how you book Brock. It's not that fucking hard. It's not rocket science. You ain't gotta move mountains. This is how you book Brock. You gotta feel me, bro. This is how you book a beast like that. He's done everything in the ring. Build stories in the parking lot. Put this guy in the street fucking people up. Let him show up to the fucking bar room of his opponent that his opponent's having a couple fucking brewskis. A couple of rum and cokes, and Brock's like, I ain't waiting for the fucking event. I'm gonna chuck you through the fucking pool table, through the bathroom wall, through the fucking bar ceiling. Parking lot Brock is best for business. But BC's been telling you that for months. Finally, the company listens to BC. Up next is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rick Boogs. Now, is it me, or is Rick Boogs just literally just a copy of Freddie Mercury from Queen, the band Queen? You know Queen. We will rock you. We will rock you. Bow. Yeah, man, Queen, Freddie Mercury. Isn't that just Rick? I mean, I think so anyway. I'm gonna put a side by side. Sasha, again, take the earbuds out. I need photos of Rick Boogs and Freddie Mercury. Give me a side by side, please. Because I feel that's the character. I think that's where Rick Boogs, and even when he's doing his little concerts trying to usher out Shinsuke, I feel there's a lot of Freddie Mercury in that shit. I don't know, man. If I am correct, Sasha will put that up in post. Anyway, where the fuck was I going with this, man? You got me singing fucking Queen songs over here. Shinsuke Nakamura and Boogs defeat Garza and Humberto. Boogs defeated Garza is what happened. That's what happened. And this was funny because once Shinsuke just got his ass kicked the whole match, and then Shinsuke finally makes the hot tag. Wasn't that hot? I mean, there was a pretty anticlimactic tag. You would think if you're getting beat up the whole match and you finally make a tag, it'd be a little hotter, right? A legit hot tag. No, this was kind of fucking like, he was standing up, and he's just like, here, you come in now. I'm done taking the whooping. So Boogs gets it, and Boogs is just literally, the best way to put it, basically Boogs got paid to go to the gym last night. He was using Humberto and Garza as weights. He was literally just doing bench presses and fucking freestyle curls. He got paid to go to the gym. I mean, Rick Boogs, this was the time of his life last night. He was having his... He's happier than a Brock Lesnar and a cowboy hat. How's that? Oh, bro, he just went in there and just had a gym session, man. Clanging and banging. Drew McIntyre is up next. Drew Mac with the Vikings. No, Sasha, that's... Sasha, that's the wrong image. It's the wrong Vikings, Sasha. That image is from How to Train Your Dragon. Try a different pair of Vikings, Sasha. There you go. There they are. Oh, my bad, guys. That's my new assistant, Sasha. You guys been following the channel. I've been trying a lot of assistants out. A lot of them are not working. They don't even know how to press BC's music, right? Which is, I put it on just a button. You just gotta press a color-coded button, right? Start BC's music, cut BC's music. And a lot of my assistants can't even do that. So Sasha's been doing okay. Better than my other assistants, but I don't know how she How to Train Your Dragon Vikings, really? How does that look like the Viking Raiders? Then again, I can't even blame Sasha. At this point, the How to Train Your Dragon Vikings would be more relevant and fun than the actual WWE Vikings. Anyway, Sasha, my assistant, not Sasha Banks, my assistant Sasha is still learning the ropes. Anyway, back on track, BC. Drew and the Vikes are in six-man tag schmaz action. Who doesn't like a good six-man schmaz? Oh, wait, I don't. I can't stand these multi-man fucking schmazes. I see way too many of them these days. AEW might actually have a trios championship in the future, which means we're gonna get multiple six-mans every fucking show. This one is Drew and the Vikings against Happy Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Stanky. And by the way, Madcap Moss is in their corner. Madcap Moss. At rings. No. What the fuck? Sasha! That's not Madcap Moss. That's a German Lederhosen. That's a German Lederhosen. Do you know what Madcap looked? There you go. You got it, man. There's Madcap. Oh my God. Sasha's having a day, man. Guys, let me know. Should I fire Sasha? I mean, she just put up a German Lederhosen. She thought that was Madcap, which then again, now that I look at the image of the Hosen, can you put up the German Lederhosen again? Sasha, you know what? Put him up again. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. All right, that's basically Madcap Moss. I forgive you, Sasha. Anyway. Come on, Sasha. My amp unit deserves better than this. Anyway, in all seriousness, guys, Stanky gets a party thrown for him. It wasn't a birthday party. It was a Claymore party. That's right. Stanky took a Claymore party. For McIntyre. You never know what he's gonna do. I could deliver 1, 2, maybe even 3 Claymores. And if I deliver anything, you can call that a Claymore party. Because you're gonna be seeing stars, balloons, glitz, and glam in your head own piece. You're gonna be seeing stars. It's gonna be a party. I'm gonna hit you so hard. You're gonna have a party. We're losing it, guys. 5 a.m. and BC's off the fucking chains, bro. Stanky loses that match. I wish I could tell you anything really happened afterwards. Nothing, man. You're probably going to get the same exact match or a variation at WrestleMania. In fact, you want to talk WrestleMania matches? Oh boy. This is I told you this was coming for weeks, right? This is what I mean. Listen to what BC's saying because it's most likely going to happen. Once in a blue moon, it might get fucked up. It is WWE. Plans do change by the second, I guess. So some things might not happen, but for the most part, when BC says something's going to happen, bro, it's going down. And I told you a 4th team was being added to the women's title match at Mania, and I told you exactly who it was. I said the word going around the campfire was Shayna Baszler and Natty, and when last night was all said and done, that's exactly what happened. And you're saying, well, BC, Natty and Shayna, they had a match last week or the week before, and they lost it. So if there was any chance for them to be added, that was gone. Well, no, this is WWE. You gotta remember, they just throw people in the title matches, man. They don't give a fuck if it makes sense or not. Right, like last night, for instance. We had Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Naomi and Sasha Banks. Those are my 2 gals right there. Sasha Banks, this is a pro Sasha channel. That's my gal. And Naomi! Man, have we been going to bat for her from day one that we've had this channel. So these are my 2 girls. You know, you put them in a tag team, you'd think that BC would be ecstatic, but there's just so much that they should be doing on their own. But if you're telling me, okay, they're going to be thrust in a tag team and they're going to win titles, BC might be on board, okay? I can find a way to get on board with that. But when you start muddying the waters and blurring the lines and turning this into a circus and putting a 3rd tag team into the match, well, that's what you're doing, man. You're making this a farce. And then, after last night, they added a 4th fucking team, making this a sham. But let's start from the jump. Last night you had Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Naomi and Sasha Banks. We had a real good exchange between Sasha and Morgan a couple of times last night. That's a match that if you give this a proper storyline, Liv Morgan versus Sasha Banks, off the charts. Sasha Banks is the best female wrestler in the fucking world, that's A. And B, Liv Morgan is fucking with some of the highest momentum in the entire wrestling world right now. Liv Morgan has been on a roller coaster of fuck yeah the past 6 to 9 months up front. Especially when she had the match with Becky Lynch several months ago. Liv Morgan never came down from that high. Liv Morgan is basically on an elevator that only went to the top and never comes down. So you put her with the best female wrestler in the world, Sasha Banks, and this is a match I actually want to see. So we got a glimmer of that in this tag match. The match itself as a whole was damn good. Unfortunately, and as expected, Shayna Baszler and Natty interfere and the match is thrown out. Somehow we go from a damn solid match with Sasha Naomi versus Ripley and Morgan to a segment that finished with Natty and Baszler face to face with the tag champs Carmella and Zelina. So we have a really good match going, and somehow, in a snap of a finger, blink of an eye, drop of a hat, we're ending it with Carmella and Zelina face to face with Natty and Shayna. What the fuck? How did something so good go oh so wrong, oh so quick? There is zero reason to add them to this Mania match. It was already a 3-way circus. Now it is a 4-way sham. And before I get really irate, I'm just gonna move the fuck on. Pat McAfee is then ordered by Vince McMahon to go to the ring and apologize to Austin Theory for the beating that Theory took at the hands of McAfee last week. Theory hits the ring to receive the apology face to face, and McAfee says, and I quote, he apologizes for beating his ass last week. He says, I apologize for making your filter face relevant. He says, I apologize that you're a douchebag. I apologize that you're a punk ass bitch. And Theory's irate, but then he just smiles. Theory smiles and he takes a selfie of a pissed off McAfee. Theory then says, ha, you apologized. And then he shoves Pat backwards into the ropes. I thought this was well done. I would have liked a little bit better of a finish. But Pat McAfee nailed that promo when he was talking that trash to Austin. I love how Austin didn't retaliate or anything physically. He kind of fucked with him. Took the selfie, smiled in his face, even pushed him before he ran away. But this was actually pretty damn good. You don't need any more physicality before Mania between the two, to be honest. So now you just got to try to tell a story. There's a crazy concept, Vince. Ridge Holland is out next. Yeah, oh, that's right. Ridge fucking Holland. He's in there with Kofi. You knew Vince was going to do something like this. You know, Ridge Holland breaks the neck of Big E last week, and now he's in there with Kofi Kingston. And Ridge Holland defeats Kofi Kingston via Northern Grit. He was much more gentle dropping Kofi this week than he was with Big E last week. It looked like he was tucking him into bed last night when he was performing that move. You know, Ridge Holland is in a position that I don't envy. You know, I do feel for the dude. Of course, when this happened with Big E last week, anybody with any sense wasn't calling for the dude's job. Nobody was saying he should be fired or this and that. If Vince wants him to be a pro wrestler in his company, that's fine. We were just asking train him better, right? Because this wasn't the first time, right? If this was just an accident, Big E got dropped on his dome piece, it's not ballet, it's pro wrestling, we get it, you know? This isn't dance class. But this wasn't the first time, right? You can't even say the Gargano thing was, because remember when Gargano got dropped on his head by Ridge Holland? He never rotated the power slam, the scoop slam. He never rotated, and he just dropped Gargano on his head, almost broke Gargano's neck. That could have been so more severe than it was. So you look at the more severe ones, like Gargano and Big E, and you keep saying, well, accident. Oh, that was just another freak accident. But then you watch a lot of Holland matches, and you've seen a lot of botches and a lot of cringeworthy moments. A lot of moments that easily could have been the situation like Gargano and Big E. And this is what I mean. We've seen this before with people like Nia Jax. Nobody's just trying to be mean and say they should be fired or take them off the road. We're saying this because we care about the wrestlers, the individuals in the ring with those son of a bitches. If somebody is just too green or they're just not really good at this wrestling thing, then just retrain them. If they continue to suck, then yes, they would have to be fired. But nobody should have been just kicking Ridge Holland when he was down. In fact, even BC was more irritated that Big E was even in that situation. That was the thing I was pissed about even more. That Big E quietly gets sent over to the Blue Brand after he loses the title like he's scared to get his title back from Brock or even Bobby Lashley. So he runs over to the Blue Brand quietly without explanation and he jumps back in with his comfortable New Day gimmick. You know, BC was pissed off that he was even playing around with Ridge Holland last week. More than I was pissed off at Holland. I don't envy the position he was in. You know, he took a lot of heat and a lot of flack. So, it is what it is, man. But Vince doubled down last night. He said, yeah, go then. And now you're going to beat the other New Day, man. You're going to beat Kofi. Just to shut everyone up. So that's what he did. He beat Kofi, man. Xavier Woods is back on the road, at least for live events. Xavier was most likely planning to come back last week before Big E got injured. You gotta believe, after BC placed all the puzzle pieces together, I think what was supposed to happen, because they debuted fucking Butch. That's right, Butch is who they debuted last week. That was Pete Dunne. And Xavier Woods was in attendance, right? He was backstage. And he was ready to make a comeback because 24 hours later at the live event, he came back. He was at a live event. Xavier Woods came back in action. And if you saw what Xavier Woods wrote last week to Big E after he broke his neck, Xavier said, I just visited Big E. Well, if you just visited Big E, that means you were at the arena last Friday. Why were you at the arena? And you were cleared, obviously, because you were at the live event 24 hours later, and they debuted Butch. That tells me that they were setting up a 6-man tag for WrestleMania, and they were going to kick it into high gear last week. The planned attack that was on Kofi was also supposed to be on Big E, and then Xavier Woods was supposed to come out, make the save, and that was going to set up the 6-man. But then Big E got injured, and Xavier never needed to come out after that. Man, this was way more severe than Xavier re-debuting or making a comeback. So then it looks like they just nixed those plans. They didn't even bring him out last night. So, but Xavier Woods is back on live events. So again, this tells me by the facts that we have that Xavier was supposed to come back last week, and you know, that's the last thing we needed is a 6-man fucking tag, another New Day 6-man tag. If it meant Big E wrestling again, though, I would fucking take it, obviously. But you know, at least Big E's not missing too much here, man. Another fucking 6-man schmaz is all Vince was going to give Big E. And that's why I said from day one, literally from the day one pay-per-view, I said Big E's being done filthy. Butch. I still can't believe that shit, man. Fucking Butch! Butch! You know, I heard that last night. We talk about, you know, the New Day. You had Big E, had his brother backstage, man, Xavier Woods, right? That's La Familia. They're not just friends. They're like brothers. Kofi Kingston, Xavier, and Big E. Well, I heard that Butch, Pete Dunne, Little Butch, he had his brothers backstage last night, ready to interfere if need be, ready to make a save. In fact, Sasha, put up the image. Do you have Butch's brothers backstage? There it is! Sasha! You just redeemed yourself. There's his brothers. That's obviously Butch, far left. Right in the middle there. You see in the middle? That's Botch. That's Botch in the middle. And then on the far right, there's his older brother. That's Bitch. So you got Butch, Botch, and Bitch. Oh, man, it's one of those mornings, one of those days, man. Fucking Butch, Botch, and Bitch. The Bunkersons. Oh, man. What are you laughing at so hard, Sasha? That's their real last name. Oh, man, you're laughing a little too much. That's their real last name. Butch Bunkerson. Botch Bunkerson. Bitch Bunkerson. I don't know what's over there. Don't laugh at the poor dude's name. They're the Bunkerson brothers. You gotta know Vince is gonna be calling him that in the near future. Butch Bonkerson. The final segment of the night was Charlie Flair, Ronda Rousey. Charlie had let me tell you, Charlie had kendo sticks booby-trapped around the ringside. I actually thought this was pretty clever. So when Ronda comes to the ring, there was a kendo stick hidden behind the steps. There was a kendo stick at the timekeeper's area. Every which way that Ronda could beat up Charlie, Charlie would have a kendo stick to retaliate with. Pretty funny, man. Booby-trapped all around ringside. And because of that, she was able to beat the shizzle out of Rousey. Charlie was pretty rough with Ronda from the jump, even busting her mouth up. But the segment in the show ended with Charlie powerbombing Rousey through the commentary table. And she laid into Rousey, man. Rousey took that pretty damn good. Rousey laid there for a minute, and Charlie was stepping on her chest to end the show. And you could tell that Ronda actually, like her back was a little fucked because even though she was supposed to be laid there, knocked out, she started turning a little bit like, hold on. Like, that shit hurt my lower back. And you see her kind of like trying to twist over and hold her back. So either Ronda somehow learned immaculate selling, which she's not at that point yet, or she actually got fucked up a little bit. And if you go back and watch, man, Charlie laid into that power bomb. So I thought that was pretty badass. And they had to do that because obviously Ronda's going to get the championship at Mania. So you got to start building up Charlie a little bit. That's why I'm okay with her putting on that submission last week on top of the motor vehicle in the parking lot. Thank you. BC is so thrilled they're listening finally. So that's how the show ended. So again, listen. If you're gonna say like in 7 days, 14 days, a month from now, basically, do you remember that show? I'm gonna say no. The only thing I would possibly remember is Brock Lesnar fucking shit up in the parking lot, forklifting the entire SUV, chasing after a pickup truck, ripping a fucking door off of its hinges while the vehicle is in motion. That's what I'm gonna remember. The fun shit, man. When you get creative and you think outside the box, you do some fun, original shit. You don't always have to be redundant. Promo, 2 matches, 2 promos, 3 matches, promo, match, 2 promos, match, end of the night. Everything's in the ring. A couple of times you go for a little fucking minute backstage fucking promo. Bro, pro wrestling is more than that, man. It's WrestleMania season. Let's kick in some storylines. Let's have fun in those storylines. As I end this, guys, I want to talk about Cody Rhodes real quick. Now, there's the latest word is he has, in fact, signed with the WWE. Another word we're getting is he's been signed for 2 weeks, which would coincide with our original stories. Even BC's sources, if you will. I do hate calling it that. They're just buddies of mine down in Florida that know a lot more than I do. But they even told me that he was signed weeks ago. So if this all ends up being that he was in fact signed for weeks, and we've all been fucking being wham-bamboozled all over the place for the last 2 weeks, BC's literally going to just put his dome piece to a brick wall at that. I mean, seriously. I mean, this Cody saga has taken on a life of its own. I'll tell you who wins in this, man. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' name value just went up 1,000,000%. You guys know I'm a big Cody fan. You guys know this, right? From his WWE days. Dude, even when he was Stardust, there was just so much talent in Cody. And I always loved how much heart he had and how much he always tried to be the fucking best. But there's a ceiling for Cody, kind of, right? You would think anyway. WWE, AEW, there was a ceiling. I mean, will he reach fucking Roman Reigns or John Cena, fucking Randy Savage, Warrior Hogan level? Probably not. And that's not a diss. Again, I'm a big Cody fan. There's placement for people, though. But after this whole fucking saga is over with, Cody's name value is going to skyrocket 1,000,000%. Like, if this was the New York Stock Exchange, Cody Rhodes is selling at an alarming rate. You want to buy stock in the Cody name. It's amazing what he's been able to do, man. He's going to piss off the AEW diehards for sure. The tried and trues that are AEW. I don't know if they can ever truly look at Cody the same, because they're going to feel like, damn, bro, what the fuck you doing? Tony Khan could really use all hands on deck, man. He's having trouble hitting that million mark consistently in the ratings. He's clearly having trouble booking he's got so much talent that he can't possibly book everybody. There's a lot of great talent that can't even get TV time. If you want to find Keith Lee, you gotta find him on fucking Rampage at midnight, by the way. Because there was a preemption, so Keith Lee is wrestling at midnight on a Friday night. Can't even catch him on Dynamite ever. Jay Lethal, one of BC's favorite wrestlers on the planet. Jay Lethal, I don't even know where to find him. Dark Elevation, maybe? Maybe at the local fucking Taco Bell, fucking delivering power bombs through the fucking drive-thru window. Who knows where I can find Jay Lethal? I don't know. But he's having a ton of, you look at his win-loss record, he's beating fucking no-namers left and right. You can't view it. You really have to search. And Cody Rhodes is just like, peace out.